Yeah.
regardless, uh, how'd it go with your brother? Did you guys make sourdough?
We made sourdough. Let me show you the last of it.
Okay, nice.
Um, Actually, I'm not sure if this is a sourdough.
Oh, I thought because he
It
has a starter, right? So,
it is a starter. Does it make it sourdough? It's einkorn
oh,
flour.
I don't know. I always just think about sourdough. It's sourdough starter, but I don't know.
It is a starter, yeah. And he left me with some, so now I gotta make some.
Okay.
Um, but it was really good. It's like we were just eating that and like cheese the whole time and coffee.
Yeah, that's great.
I didn't feel hungry at all. It was like I could eat it forever.
All
Uh,
right. But you
yeah,
guys made good progress on his jujitsu.
we
No,
did.
not
Yeah.
judo.
I mean, it was jujitsu. It was mostly
Jujitsu.
him like cranking on that. His app is like pretty complicated. He likes to like really think everything through and like build it out. So yeah, the app is like pretty full-fledged from my perspective. And yeah, let's see if I can pull anything up, although I'm not
Yeah. Nice.
sure I've got everything ready here. Yeah, maybe we'll show it like next time. But I can try to share at least like the back end, or maybe he can come on and share it like when it's like
Yeah.
fully ready. But
How much of your time was like I don't know, sitting in front of the computer versus like after you created the spec, the I forget what you call it. After you created the spec, it was just
oh
like the Claude is just running on it forever.
no, it was like lots of manual intervention for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
Where are we at here? Can you see my whole screen? No, well,
I just your terminal.
let me fix that. We'll go full screen. Um, So there was a lot of different things at once. From my end, it was all about like migrating the factory to be like truly multi-tenant, like I was saying, and that meant like breaking tons and tons of stuff, and it meant like let me go here. So it meant basically getting him to a place where he could like log in, create an account, click like create app, and get his roles.live like app provisioned.
Yep.
And so he can now go here, and if he wants to work on it like remotely, he has a terminal that he can open and work in. So this is like his terminal, and here's like his session that he has open, where he can continue like working on it with Codex. Um, so that's about as far as we got in terms of like infrastructure. Like it's not pretty, but it's like functional.
Yeah.
And we also got to like a proper like staging and production environment. So, and like figuring out like how that looks on his like setup, because there's like a whole new setup where basically you are provisioned like your own isolated computer that then had to kind of recreate the whole environment I'd created before, where I want to keep the same conventions of like it's an isolated computer, but even there you want your staging and your production sort of isolated. You want your agents running in isolated slots too, and that's just it's just kind of like it makes everything a lot harder and less convenient, but it's also like the kind of like buttoned up, grown up way to do it. And so, yeah, it's just getting all that working was just a whole slog the whole time. And he was mostly focused on trying to build the jujitsu app without like me constantly encumbering him with stuff breaking. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's how it was. But we made a lot of good progress, and now like I think I can put some effort into basically whittling down this like factory app from something that was, you know, sort of like a more of a exploratory research project for myself into something that's like a little more focused and you know, focused on like one specific thing. Like I was showing you some stuff how the factory really was birthed up here. You can see like there's a research tab and an arena and things like this.
Yeah,
And
I know it that was really I didn't know any of this stuff before
right.
this call. So like the original build of this was it was like a search. It
Yeah,
was looking for ideas
yeah,
that you could build where you could build a standalone
yes,
website that would
yeah,
generate cash flow.
yes. Build some internet vending machines.
Internet vending, right.
Yeah. I called it the
But
beam.
is the yeah, and here is the input.
This is the invariant of the search. So
Hmm.
like these are the invariants that the search needs to satisfy for in like the R&D department. It's called the discovery department.
Yep.
And they need to search like the latent space as well as like the web through web search tooling to try to discover, things that kind of match like all these different gates. And so,
I wonder
okay,
if I mean, well, I would assume that other people would be interested in, well, maybe
yeah.
not that this was necessarily successful in that
Well,
it
yeah.
didn't necessarily identify something. But the other
Yeah.
thing I was going to say was, I bet people would be interested in using this,
Mhm,
to put in their own criteria
mhm.
and let it go and see
Yeah.
what ideas it comes up with.
Yeah, and I can show you like what the some of the stuff came up with. So this is the arena, and which is basically a tournament where these ideas are paired up and judged, and just have like a elo score, like in game tournaments.
Yep.
And it's just a way to try to stack rank things when you don't have like a actual like hard reference point to reference against because this is all kind of qualitative. Is it better or not? You don't actually have any idea until you actually get signal from the market. So,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
all very like recursive. And but basically you're sort of ablating what is that model's conception of the like ideal of your search, and these were generated on like a local. So this is using like a Quen model and mainly, and maybe some Gemma 4 and a few other these local models. Because I was just curious, like what are they capable of? And
Hmm.
yeah, they have like they're not as creative as like a frontier
Was
model.
was the model using tool search like tools? Was it doing
Yeah.
searches and
Yeah. So
things
I
like
use
that?
I use in the factory, there is definitely like a specialization of labor and based on the model's capabilities. So they're like the R&D, the research department, it was actually pretty complicated, and it leveraged a lot of like Gemini CLI agents to do like web search because they're pretty good at like they're very fast and cheap for doing web search. So the Gemini agents would get these like verticals and ideas and then just do a bunch of research. And there's basically like a qualification phase where they actually try to vet, is there like stuff out there? Is there competitors on the market? Is there demand? Like they actually try to find demand signal and stuff like that. And so yeah, there's also yeah, it's actually the ideas are generated by the like local models just because I wanted to see what I could do, which is like running it 24/7, just find something for them to do. And but like a lot of the inputs were produced by Gemini researchers. And yeah, where they just kind of get some seeds of entropy and be like, okay, like research this bit vertical or this or that. Um, so yeah, it's fun, and it's a lot of this stuff is like about like they come up with like, oh, like check your medical bills and like send it back to them and get the charges waived. And uh, a lot of them are about like inference economics because like I kind of put that in there as something like I'm interested in like so some of these maybe aren't like horrible. Flora Bench, gardeners and researchers cannot verify which AI models accurately identify plants. So it'd be like benchmarking sites and stuff.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
there's some fun stuff.
Yep.
And
I mean, I think it's interesting that though I always think that you come up with the best ideas. People come up with the best ideas when they're fully submerged
Mhm.
in the problem.
Yeah,
Like when they're
yeah,
working in the auto industry themselves for the last 30 years. You're solving your own problem. You
yeah,
know these like the
yeah.
in Peter Thiel terms, you know the secrets
Hmm.
that lots of other people don't know.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know secret problems, you know secret solutions,
Yes,
and you can
yes,
build a company around that, or
yeah,
um, you can
yeah,
go and speak the language of your customers.
hmm,
So this is like it's
yeah,
hard. I get that why it's hard for an AI to do that,
hmm,
um,
hmm.
without being kind of down in the
Yeah.
substrate.
And that's I wouldn't like write it off, but it was like as you're saying, like as everyone tells me, like you're just trying to boil the ocean here, and like it was like, well, what do I focus on? And also just like I just found that yeah, as you're saying, the idea like I felt like was originating for me, like AI data center was like my idea. It wasn't found by this. Like that's currently
Oh,
like the one that's yeah,
that's an
that's like
interesting point. Yeah.
that's like doing well. Silicon Bench, also a similar sort of site. Like I like thought of that. I was like, okay, like or Silicon Score. Like those are just stuff where it's like it makes sense to me. Like it's just like I want it for myself
Go to
anyways. Like
those. Do you want to go to the
yeah, let's
portfolio?
check out the portfolio. So we've got our superstar property loading right now. Just wait.
Hmm.
So something we need to
Mm,
optimize here, but this is using the Bitter Analytics pipeline, which is like a signal aggregator, and it's
nice.
connecting Google Analytics from like 100 places and Bing and well, a couple other things. But yeah, so it's basically your basic sort of web metrics, like sessions, users, how many search um,
Oh,
queries
did
you're
you
getting.
launch it 553 days ago? The website?
Where does it say that?
The far right column.
Um, it might be. I'm not sure. That might be when I bought the domain or like something.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'd have to check where that comes from.
Okay.
But it hasn't really gotten much traffic until recently,
Hmm.
because it wasn't really anything. What it was up. So actually, it's been around maybe for maybe not that long. But what it was before was like a spinning globe where everywhere there was data, I would stack like these 3D towers off of it. And it was like a cool like visualization, but
Oh yeah.
there wasn't much data. There was like a few entries.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, let me, once I got like a kind of like agent runner working, it was more a question of like, okay, what property do you want it to spin on? And I was like, well, this one seems to have some signs of life in terms of people actually really care about this information. And there's not, I think the information, that site, that publisher, the information,
Mhm.
they,
Yep.
I think they have like a data center index. I found it after I made mine,
Oh,
so
cool.
I think they copied me. But they charged like $400 or something to access it. So I was like, oh, maybe there's a business here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I did just recently put like some reports you can buy for 29 bucks on there. So if you want to see like just NVIDIA, then you can like buy the NVIDIA report and like get the slice like on there on them. And then
Nice.
Silicon Score is similar. It's like for seeing like which local models run on which machine. And this one's kind of cool because I
That is cool.
have some of these machines. And so like I did spring for an M5 because I wanted
Hmm.
to see like what the Frontier looks like. And that's like the fastest kind of Mac like silicon you can get right now.
You could have
Um,
got it on upgraded.
John, I should have. I still, yeah. Maybe I'll have to learn more.
All good.
Um, and,
You,
and no, absolutely. And then it shows you like how fast those models run. And yeah, this is like yeah, like
that's
these are all kind of experience. I haven't really like reinvested in them. It was more like let's build something out that's like reasonably
yeah.
usable and kind of works and see what happens before I like get too into it. But I could see this one like being useful. It probably would look very different at some point in the future if I like were to invest in it more. Um, but yeah. Yeah.
So it create yeah. I would I mean this reminds me of Pulsia in
Mhm.
that but Pulsia is just kind of coming at it as at a different angle where it's trying to analyze the human,
Mhm.
figure out what would be
Yeah.
best for the human. That's kind of
Mhm.
like the
Mhm.
invariance.
Mhm.
And then say, this is a good idea for you, John Eric Metcalf, with this profile. We'll help you build that company. Go. And
Yeah.
by while we're at it, you need to pay us $100 a month. And if
Mhm.
you want to spend some ads, if you want to do some ad spend, we can help you with that too.
Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty inverted. I think that everyone's got a fire in their belly, and that in order to be like successful, you need to harness that, and
Yeah.
like what you want to do. I mean, like, of course, that's
That's
like,
maybe that's part of the learning is like
yeah.
you did run, you had the research running it came up with ideas, but ultimately you did an idea that you came up with. And maybe that's the same thing
Mhm.
for Pulsia. Like
Sure.
Pulsia might look at my profile and build me something,
Mhm.
but the secrets come from people's ideas. The good
Yeah.
companies or the good things to build come from the human knowledge that isn't yet hanging out in the ether. It's not available to LLMs. It comes from like working in an industry for a long time. And so really what you want to do is empower those people
Mhm.
um, to build.
Mhm.
Maybe you want to run them through a questionnaire. Hey, what thing do you know that nobody else does?
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know all about working inside of an Amazon warehouse?
Mhm.
What's the hard thing in there? What if you fixed it, everybody would be really happy.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Draw
you
it
know,
out of them.
pull
Yeah.
those, draw it out of them. Yeah, pull out that like
Mhm.
secret knowledge that people know, and then help them build something. And I guess we're talking about software only, but help them build. If it can be solved by software, help them do that as
Mhm.
easily as possible.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's
That would be
probably
that kind
a
of
good
that would be
ingredient
a
that's
really
missing
cool
here.
vision.
Hmm.
I mean,
I agree. No,
you
I think yeah, it would be a good like missing ingredient because yeah,
yeah.
I didn't really think of it like that. And yeah, so anyways, there's a bunch of stuff here. Juke piano is kind of fun. It's basically an experiment. I wanted to see if I can get you just drop a song in and it plays piano version on the way out. It turns out, at least so
Ooh.
far, I have not like cracked that algorithm, no matter how much inference I've thrown at it or like trying to think of it from first principles myself. I haven't like cracked it yet. So this to me is kind of like a canary. Like if next year, like GPT-7 or whatever, it's just
Yeah,
like, oh, here you go. Like one day this thing will be, you can just whistle a tune and out comes piano. That's
that's a
that's the
cool one.
vision. But as yeah, people, it's getting some traffic, so it seems like that's kind of cool.
I would
Um,
love that as I'm learning the piano, so that
yeah.
sounds fun.
And then there's a games node. So there's like a Kakura. So I try to like put them in the nexuses so that there potentially could be like sort of compounding effects. Like, okay, if people like this free game, then maybe they will discover like other free games and stuff. And look at that. We've got two new game buttons right next to each other.
Yep.
That's that's no bueno. Um
Over the weekend you also worked on BitterClip, right?
yeah. Yeah. So
Which is we looked at Descript and
yeah.
Descript, Descript, and you were, oh wow, holy cow. Okay.
I
And
told
you
you I
were
had a
like,
surprise for you.
I can build this.
So I guess it was either Codex or Claude, but one of them decided that they would just use us as a billboard.
Okay.
So I like as surprised as you when I pulled up the marketing page. I was like, "What is this?"
Oh, that's awesome.
Um, but yeah, so over the weekend I got really excited because yeah, Rohan had reached out to me about, looking for a clipping solution. Actually, not specifically saying it. He was looking for someone to help him, and actually, it seemed like had given up on software to help this. And it was like so on the nose that I'm like, am I in the Truman Show or something? Like, this is ridiculous because I had been talking about how it would be interesting if you could get the context that's in your ChatGPT or Claude, which has such a deep context of what you're doing, and use that to like work on the show. Like I've been doing that. Like you might
Right.
like prepare for a show and use ChatGPT to research it and stuff, and it's much better in context without having to explain it. So if you go into like these clipping you know services, they don't know your context, and you could paste it in, I'm sure, as like a steering message, but it's not the same as a extremely deep memory bank that can contextually be pulled based on the
Right.
situation. It's nothing compared to that. So and
And
it
you'd be pasting in like
yeah.
a 6-page
Yeah.
MD file.
Yeah.
I
And it
don't
might
know
be,
that the bolt-on AI on something or another can handle something like that.
yeah, yeah, I might not like it. And so, yeah, so basically, I figured that it should be possible to actually operate a clipping system from inside of your, chat. cockpit directly, and so I did a little spike on that, and this is called so this is like the OpenAI developer mode, which if you're
Mhm.
building like ChatGPT apps, this is like air gap from your memory. So it kind of sucks because like the like killer feature like doesn't work, but
Yeah.
you can prove the
It has to be
mechanism.
in the real app store then.
Exactly. So you need to get
Yeah.
the app published and approved, and we'll submit one soon once it's ready. I'm hoping to have it ready on Wednesday. But what you're seeing here is like a proof of concept that this mechanism works. So I'm in this chat. I installed a developer. It's actually tunneling to like my local host, and
Mhm.
I said, "Hi, can you pull up the latest recording?" It pulled up this video, and I said, "Please show me your favorite moment." And it actually pulled up a clip. You can't see it because this media is on my local computer, so it's like can't reach it because this is on chatgpt.com. But so this will
Yeah.
work once it's all deployed on Wednesday. And it says, I pulled up the standout moment from the latest recording. It's 71-second segment where the speaker shifts into more live problem solving collaborative mode. Um, so yeah, and it says like why it works and stuff. But basically, it did this by like pulling up the transcript and then but yeah, here you'd usually see the video and you can actually scrub like you can adjust like start and end and export
Oh,
it.
nice. Yep.
And so that's the idea. Like you literally just get a clip like that you can download um or you just save it and it's available like inside BitterClip, like in your like clips like library basically. So I think like it should work like pretty seamless. It looks like it's going to work, so I'm pretty excited about it. I think it could be
It's just like this is the future of interface
yes.
of interacting with
Yeah.
computation with
Yeah.
inference. It's
Yeah.
just saying, "Hey, let's do this."
Kind
As
of.
opposed
Yeah.
as it
Yeah.
obviously we still need interfaces to be able to see all the clips and remember what we have and uh, things like that. But
Yeah.
the like fast forward version of this is Jarvis,
Hmm.
where you're like, "Hey Jarvis, can you take the clip? Can you take the recording from yesterday, pull
Yeah.
out clips that you think might be interesting, and line up those? Find me at least five, and let me see all of those. I'm gonna watch them, determine if I think one's good, and
Yeah.
then I'll have you post it
Hmm.
on all my socials and the
It,
it's
it-
just
that's the workflow I'm expecting to have at the end of the week. I
yeah,
mean, I mean, no, I guess that is dependent on publishing. I think for Claude, though, it won't be. I'm pretty sure for Claude, we can just run it as an MCP server, and you may not get like the UI in there, but
yeah.
MCP, they're not gated. So we could at least use Claude. I think, yeah, for ChatGPT, they've decided to shore it up a little bit more, it looks like, with the apps. But we'll check. I haven't done the Claude spike yet,
Yeah.
but yeah, or we'll just get the app published. I don't see why not.
Mhm.
And yeah, that'll be like much nicer. Because yeah, as I was like hacking around on BitterClip, one thing was like, well, how do I build this UI? Is it gonna be like iMovie or Final Cut Pro? Because it very quickly trends there because you're like, well, I need that too, and I need that, and like I caught myself doing that. I was like, yeah, it's just again, as you already caught me doing, like from the very beginning, you're like, stop, like doing a million things. And so I was like, okay. The thing that actually is important is this like teleporting your functionality into the chat where the context lives. That's the
Yeah.
thing that I wrote about. That's the thing that I think is so disruptive. That's I think the thing that's gonna really be much more obvious to people very soon as it like sort of matures and gets better and
It's just like
cool like
e-
mhm.
everything I'm sorry.
Yeah, please.
Um, Everything just seems to be collapsing into your computer is an interface that you talk to, and it doesn't seem like it needs to be OpenAI or Anthropic or maybe it will be just because it'll be easier, just like because Google has because those three have big distribution.
Mm,
Um, but you could imagine opening your computer and you have like a local LLM
mm.
that reasons and determines which one it uses in the cloud and which tools it uses to help you. I mean, I guess I'm describing OpenClaw.
No, I
Or
mean, yeah, it's yeah, I think it will all like commoditize for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think so. In terms of like that basic experience, and then
Yeah.
who knows? Like some people speculate that like it's like the end of like regular people getting access to frontier models because they're like too capable or something. So if that's the case, then yeah, it's definitely going to commoditize. But who knows? I'm not sure. Like I hope not. I think the the competitive dynamics might not like.
My thinking is just like, what is a computer going to be in 5 years?
Hmm,
Right now, I open it up and I use my mouse and click around and everything, but mm, we're so close to just being able to say what we want to happen
hmm,
as opposed to, I don't know, pushing things around.
hmm. Yeah, it's
Mm.
ours to explore. So
I guess more and more tools inside of chat interfaces.
I think we'll see more of it. And yeah, let's
Right.
see. Maybe we can get BitterClip to pioneer that because I
Yeah.
didn't see any clip makers there, and I was surprised because I
Yep.
was like, uh,
Yep.
it goes in the essay I wrote about it. Now the name is slipping. Is it Ben Thompson or something? But it's like a famous essay about like you need to
Oh.
own your UX.
Mm.
And it's like I guess it's like a Silicon Valley like maxim like that you have to like own your UI. And that my argument was like yeah, you still need to own your UI, but the only way you're going to be able to do that is like giving up the idea that it's like this one bespoke UI that you create and you have to like instead make your UI materialize in context somewhere else in a way that fits in there, which means giving up a lot of control, but ultimately it's just a different kind of control that you're exercising there in terms of
Yep.
like yeah. So yeah.
Well, that's a cool demo. Wait, so you'll use it on this clip or on this.
Yeah, I'm already using it. I mean, yeah, it's just like so much time to like try to do the clip and then is it really the right clip? So like I kind of absolve myself by right now I'm using the BitterClip like CLI to just so
Mhm.
I literally just tell like Claude please look at this video in this Dropbox folder that we share and
Yep.
put in a good transcript in 3 clips and then it does that and I just copied those to YouTube last time, and hopefully soon that can be automated fully. And yeah, it's fine. Like they're not like perfect, but otherwise we wouldn't do it at all. And I think like multiple people have reached out. They're like, you need to do this. Like no one's gonna watch your videos. Like so, it seems like there's a lot of like like signal that this makes sense to get done. And yeah, it'll be like our little infrastructure piece that I think is it's not just for like podcasting, and maybe it's useful for all kinds of stuff where you maybe we can use it to like get better, we can like we should use it to be like, hey, like where let's find all the moments where Mike's contradicting himself, and like see like pull those up, and like and we can test it out like that and see if it's, insightful.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I haven't looked at. I, I'd love to go back and look at all the clips that it's extracted. I haven't looked at any of them yet.
Yeah, it's like it does trend towards kind of like clickbaity. And I was like, maybe it's fine. It's just kind of like funny.
Yeah.
We'll see how far we take that.
Yeah.
Um,
Awesome.
yeah, well,
Well,
I know it's late
okay.
for you,
Let's
so
cut it. 11:20 here.
uh,
Had an early flight. Good talking to you.
yeah, you
See you
too.
tomorrow.
Later.